In today's Sharp Saturday video, we're going to take a look at another budget throwing knife. Actually, a set of 3 budget throwing knives from the folks at Kershaw. I'm at the Kershaw Ion throwing knife set. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me for another Sharp Saturday video where it's Saturday and we take a look at something sharp. So today's something sharp, as I said, is a kind of a budget throwing knife from the folks at Kershaw, and I've been taking a look at several budget throwing knives over the last few months. And let me just say this right up front. Every time I do a throwing knife video, I get some comments about why would you want to throw your only weapon? Look, this is not my, first of all, this is not my only weapon. And second of all, I don't look at this as a martial art, although I suppose it could be. It's just fun. It's just, look, it's okay to have fun sometimes. Just lighten up a little bit sometimes. Everything doesn't have to be so serious, and throwing knives is fun. So there's that. There's my little disclaimer about the knife throwing as a martial art. And I'm sure it can be, and it is, but for me, it's just fun. So let's talk about this knife. So first of all, you can see it is a double-edged blade of 3CR13 MOV steel, and that's a pretty big giveaway right there that this thing is made in China. So can you see that? Hopefully you can see the China there somewhere. It's full tang wrapped with paracord. The overall length of this knife is 9 inches. For those of you still stuck in that old metric system, that's 22.9 centimeters. The blade length is 4.5 inches to this point, so about half, which is good the way it should be, or 11.4 centimeters. And the weight on this thing is just 4 ounces or 118 grams. So there's that. Comes with this little nylon sheath, nothing fancy. It's just standard for these little sets. They have like a stackable sheath with a little Velcro closure on it. And really that's just kind of a good way to store them, I guess, and keep the edges protected. I never put these things on my belt. I just play with them and throw them. Again, it's just fun to me. I do like a couple things right off the bat before I throw these. We'll see how I like them. Let me just tell you what my potential pros and cons are, and then we'll see if that pans out in the actual testing phase. So first of all, I like the fact that it is a double-edged blade, and it seems to have a really good point on it, which to me helps, especially if you're just learning. It helps these things to have improved stickability, which makes it a lot more fun to throw and keeps you from getting discouraged. It also has at least the potential to be somewhat, maybe useful as an actual knife in an emergency. This would not be my first choice, obviously. And that's the pros for me, and the price obviously is a pro. The negatives for me are potential negatives. Now, we'll just talk about it. I think they're a little short. I like 12-inch ones better. 9 inches is getting close, but I really like about 12 inches better. And they're a lot lighter than I personally like. These are 4 ounces. I like them to be at least 8 ounces, 6 to 8 ounces, and maybe even a little heavier. It just seems to throw better for me. You have to put less effort into it to get the momentum going to stick them. And then I'm not sure about that circle there. That's supposed to help get them out of the sheath. I'm not really worried about getting them out of the sheath. I'm worried about getting them out of my hand smoothly. I don't know if that's going to be in the way or not. The paracord wrap, I think, I don't know, that may or may not be an issue with throwing. So anyway, there's that. My potential pros and cons. So let's take you down to the old balance, orientation, and rotation device where I test the aerodynamic balance of all fixed blades, and we'll see how well these things actually work. Oh, wait a minute. Since they do have a blade, an edge, I mean, you can see they have an edge. It doesn't feel super, super sharp, but it is ground. At least we'll do a paper cut test. I know. Look, there's no doubt we'll do the redneck sharp test too, but I have no illusions that it's gonna fail there. It's not that sharp. I don't think it's gonna cut any paper, but we'll see. Yeah, so, which is not a fail in my opinion, because they're not designed for cutting knives. These are throwing specific knives. So that being said, let me stop rambling and let's get to throwing. And I think when you're doing this, proper scientific method is important. So, whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, there's one. And a little over rotation because it's so light. Or maybe it's because of the thing back here. Let's see, come here, Kuma. That's 2. Well, I forgot the science though. And that's 3. Okay, well, the only thing I got any sticks in the first three was the dirt, so let's try again. Whoop, 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 whoop. So I think those actually, the one that sort of stuck under rotated, so maybe I need to back up a little bit. We'll try that. Better. Let's try one more time. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, so not doing that great with these ion knives. I will say, when I try to kind of hold them by the ring, I seem to do a little better. I'm just concerned about them rotating too much. I prefer a smooth handle that just slides out of my hand, but we're gonna give these one more shot and we'll give you my final kind of see if my pros and cons were right or wrong. Come on, buddy, come on. So Kuma always wants to play when I'm throwing knives, and he hasn't figured out that these are not fetch toys. So anyway, let me get rid of Kuma, and we're gonna do it one more time. I think I might have maybe kind of got something figured out. I think what I'm kind of figuring out is if I hold them like back here, kind of like this, and I just really let them go about right here, where they don't have time to flip very much, and spin around a lot super fast, seems to work better. But I'm trying to get 3 sticks for you, so let's just try it now. Oh man. 2 again. Okay, we're gonna try for 3 again. Let's go. Okay, 3. We're gonna wrap this one up. Okay, you know what? Actually, before we completely stop, those were like 360 spin. That was complete spin throws. I've been working on trying to learn and improve my no spin throwing, and these I think this ring might cause a big problem with that, but let's try it and see just one time for you, because I want to make sure I do a thorough review. So we're gonna try no spin. I generally have to get a little closer to start out with that, but we'll start slow, close, and see if I can work my way back. So we'll try 3 more. Okay, just 3 more. Oh, son of a gun. Okay, so as you saw, they all 3 stuck here. They weren't stuck great, but they stuck. So let's kind of give you my final thoughts on these things, talk about whether I was correct in my assumptive pros and cons. So first of all, my first assumptive pro was I like the fact that they have somewhat of an edge on them. They're not dull. They do have a really good point on them, and I think that would help in stickability. I thought that would help in stickability, and I think it did, because some of them stuck in, as you saw, at kind of an angle here, but yet they still stuck. And so when they were coming, they weren't coming this direction, they were coming this way, so they had to be kind of at an angle when they hit. So they didn't have the full mass of the knife pushing against the point, it was kind of pushing an angle. They still stuck in. I don't think they would have done that if it had one of those kind of flattened tips like some of them had. So I think that really helps stickability, which helps, especially at a beginning stage like which I am, it helps to improve your confidence and makes it more fun, because you know you get discouraged pretty easily if you just constantly not sticking the knives. So I think that is a good pro, and I was right on that. As far as the cons go, one of my biggest con, one of them was this ring on the end. I think once I kind of got it figured out and I was able to you know, hold it like this instead of up here maybe more, it seemed to work much better for me. As you saw, I was finally able to stick 3 of them pretty quickly, and they all stuck pretty good. One of them, again, was at an angle, but it still stuck in, which I think that, again, that's because of the point. The shortness didn't seem to be too big a deal. There's 9 inches, so they're kind of close to long enough, I think. I don't like really, especially like the little 6-inch ones. They just don't work well for me. The weight was the other thing. They are kind of light for me, but they seem to do okay. It's just you gotta get used to them. And I think that's what's one of the things that's cool about having different style knives like this. It allows you to learn to modify your technique maybe to be able to compensate for different things. And I think that's good. If you're going to throw knives for fun or for anything else, then it's good to improve your skills, right? So you want to be as versatile as possible. So I think that's a good deal. And the other thing I really like about these is the price. I mean, under $10 a piece on Big Daddy Unlimited, a little more than that somewhere else, but still, for a reasonably sharpened, they're not going to, you're not carving stuff with these, but they're sharp enough to really stick, and I like that. So that's the Kershaw Ion throwing knives, and I got to say, these, I'm going to give these a thumbs up because I think the price is right, the stickability is there, and they're just good, clean fun. So I hope this video has been helpful and interesting. I really appreciate you watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.